turns to cast quick, that means you can cast up to 4 magic spells pretty much on a single turn, basically. And if that person has Ultima, which does over 9,500 to 9,999 points of damage, you are going to murder a lot of bosses. Here's another example of one of the 8 dragons that are really hard. The Red Dragon, which is probably the hardest one you have to face, and I'll tell you why. You're not allowed to attack that dragon at all. Plain and simple, you cannot even touch him. You will do no points of damage, whether it's physical, magical, or even special attacks. You'll do nothing. And he tends to get stronger with his physical attacks and his fire magic. So if you have like armor such as fire flame shield or anything that absorbs or negates fire damage, you'll be fine here. Make sure you cast Curaga or Arise a lot, and definitely have re-raise done on at least one character. I recommend your entire party just in case, because at the end of the battle, he will cast Ultima on you, which bypasses your entire magical resist and magical defense, and practically kill you in one hit. But if you cast Re-Raise, your characters will be brought to life. And if you cast Ultima and your character's brought to life, don't worry, because he dies instantly. So he kills himself because you pretty much get a hint at the first of the battle. It says, Red Dragon sacrificing life force to become stronger. Which means with each turn that passes by, he begins to die. So he has like a time limit to try to kill you, which is good because he pretty much casted Doom on himself, except if Doom users were able to cast Ultima by the time they die, which they don't. So it gets a lot harder, trust me. And even if you get to the end of the Dragon's Den, which you will do by beating all 8 dragons and getting your party into certain areas like a switch at the end of the tunnel, you will have to encounter the Kaiser Dragon, which is really, really powerful, like 250,000 hit points. And he does a shitload of damage to you. And like the Magic Master and the Red Dragon and the Dragon's Den, I had hiccups, he will cast Ultima on you when he dies. So again, keep hitting Kaiser Dragon really hard with re-raise on one of your party members, and you'll beat him. You'll beat him no problem, trust me. And what was I about to say? Oh yeah, you can actually get the Magicites behind Kaiser Dragon without having to fight him. All you have to do is stand in front of Kaiser Dragon, open your menu, and just back out while holding up on the D-pad, and you'll be able to bypass him no problem. When you can't walk up any higher, just hit A and you'll get Diabolos, which is a really good Esper to equip, because you can then get Gravija, which is a new spell. And not only that, whoever has it equipped and gains a level will gain twice as much hit points as they normally would have gotten from gaining a level, which is great. You will need that, especially on your character you equip your Ultima weapon to. Another thing about the Ultima weapon, which will come in handy, provided you got 2, you'll get one from the Cave of the Espers, and the second one stealing from Ultima weapon on the floating continent, which is quite funny if you're stealing an Ultima weapon from Ultima weapon, which is kind of titsy, but we'll adjust. You equip the Genji glove, 2 Ultima weapons on someone with a high number of health, and also equip the, I forget the name of the relic, but whatever it does, it causes you to attack 4 times on a single turn. Master Scroll, that's what it is. Equip Genji Glove and Master Scroll on your person with the highest number of HP, probably Edgar at this point, depending on how well you've raised your party, and have him just wail, literally wail, on enemies. If he has 9,999 points of damage and a pretty good attack value, he can probably do 9,999 points of damage per hit. And when you have 2 weapons equipped and the Master Scroll, technically that means you can attack 8 times in a single turn. 8 fucking times! Do the math! 9,099 times 8 equals well over 72,000 points of damage. And imagine doing that after you cast it quick. That means you can use 2 turns. So over 72,000 times 4, times 2, that almost equals 150,000 points of damage. You could probably kill Omega Weapon, which is another new boss in this game, on a single turn. Can you believe that, on a single turn? You could definitely kill the final form of Kefka that way, which really takes away the drama of that final battle for someone who's gone ridiculously mad. It's like, I will destroy everything. Hate, I consume everything. Yeah, I'll just cast quick, swap you around a few times. You die instantly. Have a good day. Fuck you. You know? Really sucks the fun out of a giant battle, don't you think? You know? Well, I guess it's only fair. He doesn't really give you anything except the glory of if you've beaten the Dragon's Den and you beat Kefka, then the main story. That means when you play the game again, you can unlock the Soul Shrine. Again, another new feature in Final Fantasy VI Advance. What the Soul Shrine is basically a new gauntlet, pretty much, where you have to face wave after wave of enemies, and they progressively get harder, no surprise. And believe it or not, in that gauntlet, out of nowhere you can face really weak monsters, and then all of a sudden you're facing one of the hidden bosses in the Dragon's Den, like the Abyss Worm and Earth Eater, for example. It's like, hey, I'm facing these weak guys that I found in the Narsh Cave. Holy shit! Why am I facing this guy? Like, you know, that throws you off a little bit. What makes the Soul Shrine even harder, considering we're on this point the enemies are easy, is that there's a new type of enemy called the Gluttern, which is a new form of magic urn that you find in the Cultist Tower. He will demand an item, and if you don't use items, I suggest you give it to him. Just give him what he wants, plain and simple, and you'll be fine. Because if you don't, he will kick the shit out of you, depending on what type of item he requests. If he's requesting an ether, like, he has a pretty simple attack pattern, but when he's about to run, he will attack you 10 times in a row. Any party member, 10 times. He will, even though he'll only target one party member, he will attack 10 times. And he hurts you a lot. He can miss, and you can block his attacks, but the odds of you blocking all 10 in a row are really low. I'm sorry. And if he's requesting an elixir, you better be considering giving to him, like, any elixir he wants. He will demand more than one, so give him away! Because he will fucking murder you. Considering he casts Ultima every turn. That will rape you a lot here. And even if when he's about to run away or he gets killed, he might cast Blaster on you, which will cause instant death if it connects. That is going to piss you off a lot more. I have not gotten that far in the Soul Shrine. Like, I keep getting killed at the third or the second Gluttern. Maybe I should follow my own advice more often. I keep thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna beat this guy no matter what. Even if you do like cast Ultima on it several times, it can take a lot of damage.